Butterfly. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since we've talked. I want to apologize because I've been feeling it. I've been feeling you sending the vibes that you wanted to have some straight talk. You wanted a space where we can get into your heart and be present in your body and just talk about the things that you may not talk about with other people and give voice to the feelings that you have, to give you some form of confirmation that you are not alone. And that's what we're going to do here. Welcome to my home office. I'm currently sitting on my futon. We'll get into some home decor stuff at another time because we got more important things to talk about right now. A message that has been repeating itself for quite some time is that a lot of us are in the season of transition and also seeking clarity. We grew up thinking that our life had to have one purpose, and we saw a lot of our parents having one job, and that was all that they did. But they gave birth to some multi-talented, multi-purpose, multi-dreaming beings. You, me, us. There are so many of us that have so many talents and so many interests that it becomes overwhelming to try to choose one. And what happens when you do choose that one and you get to the point where you've gone as far as you can go and now you want something different? Don't feel that pressure of, oh, this is a failure because I thought that this was my purpose. You have more than one purpose. I am a firm believer, and hopefully this will relieve some of the pressure that you're putting on yourself. Your purpose is to live a life that you enjoy. My nose is running. Spirit, come on now. Before I got into this, I did a mantra. My words flow like water. The message is clear. All I have to do is open my eyes, my heart, and my ears. And now my nose is running like water. That's funny to me. Because me and Spirit be kikiing and ha-ha. But yeah, your purpose is to live a life that you enjoy. And at different phases of your life, that will look different. And you have a huge toolbox of gifts, talents, strengths that you can utilize in order to make that your reality. Does that relieve some of the pressure from you? Because once I thought about it that way, it freed me. Because at one point in my life, it was all about stability and having money. So I put all of my passions on the back burner. It was just like, I know how to make money. I'm going to school to become an accountant. I became an accountant. I was in my field. I had everything that I set out to have, which was stability. Then when I got there, I realized, man, this stability piece was such a focal point that I really didn't incorporate a lot of my passion and myself. So now I kind of feel unhappy with that mindset of my purpose is to live a life that I enjoy. It became, well, if this is no longer making me happy and I am no longer enjoying this, what is the pivot? And that got me on the purpose of discovering my spiritual gifts, which had been there my entire life, but I had ignored them because I, like so many of you and I was raised in a situation where there was a lot of lack. There was lack of a lot of things. So in my mind, I made it super important that I would not experience that type of lack in my adulthood. And I put everything else, compartmentalized everything else, and just said, I'm going straight to the point where I don't have to depend on anybody else. I don't have to need anybody else. I can do everything on my own. I can be an island child. And that's what I did. And I was lonely as hell and miserable. And that kind of set me on the journey of, you have more to give in the world than to make sure that you can pay your bills and provide for yourself in that space. And like I said, a lot of my family members and friends have been coming to me because this last season of the pandemic has really forced a lot of people inside, within, and they've started to question. The most powerful thing that you can do is question yourself, because you are tapped into an amazing line of wisdom, divinity, answers, abundance. The sad thing is a lot of people don't learn to question that thing in order for an answer to be birthed from that connection that is your birthright. A lot of people seek those things by looking and comparing to other people, or even seeking that type of validation from others instead of learning to trust their gut. And we'll dig into that topic at another time, because I really want to get into how to know when you're receiving an answer from yourself, how to get quiet, how to get still, how to learn your body and learn your spiritual guidance compass. Because I believe that we all are born with that compass that says, ask this question, in which direction should I go? And your body and your spirit is going to point you. You can look at the entirety of your life. I challenge you to look at anything that you have made important in your life and see how you have made that a reality. Just like the example that I gave, my focal point was stability. And my internal compass guided me straight to that reality. Then my purpose became, well, what natural gifts and talents? What am I gifted at that I don't even have to think about it? I remember my specific request was, I want to know what I am so natural at that it comes to me just like breathing. And that is this: channeling messages, speaking to the point of view where it resonates. I'm speaking to the truth of you because it is my divine wish and prayer to be a guide. Just a clarifier, I don't want to fix anything for you, give you any answers. My jam, my joy is teaching you how to do that for yourself. So a lot of my life journey has been doing that for myself so then I can teach it to others. So back to that point of your life purpose is to live a life that you enjoy. Don't feel intimidated or stressed out when the present place that you are is no longer suiting you. In fact, that's actually an indication that something better already exists. We never want for something better unless it is already existing in the world. That is something that I've learned. In my mind, I've told myself, man, I was meant to be a person of abundance. Child, I tried being like poor. When I went through my spiritual journey of losing everything in life, all my physical possessions, I was just like, I can tell by the way that this feels, the stress level, the anxiety. My body is communicating to me that I am not a person who is meant to live in lack, stress, fear, and anything that is other than abundance. I learned that about myself. So I started leaning into that. Well, the universe is my bank account. Anything I want, I can have. I'm not afraid of the process to gain the things that I want, because ultimately I always get what I desire or better. And that is always my reality because I firmly believe that. But in your own journey, you will become aware of your own personal mantras, the things that become foundational to the way that you live your life. You know, mine, I have a lot around abundance. I have a lot around clarity and knowledge. And those things really help me determine the direction of my life. And at this point now, you may be feeling, dang, I don't even know who I am. You're not alone. Do you know how many adults I have counseled who have no awareness of their talents, their gifts, or even what makes them happy? I did a workshop once and I asked people, what makes you happy? And you would have thought I asked them to solve quantum physics because they could not understand. They needed a definition of, well, what is happiness and what is fun? And it broke my heart because I'm like, man, you've been in your body for all of this time and you have no definition of what it looks like for you. But not to judge, I understand. If you live a life where you have to take care of others starting at an early age, if you live a life where you are responsible to get things accomplished, or you have pressures to, move the needle forward in whatever direction that is supposed to be, being fueled and directed by responsibility can often lead you to not know anything about yourself, because that responsibility towards others is keeping you from even focusing on yourself. It's like, I got to get to this to take care of my brothers and sisters. I got to do this to take care of my parents. I got to do this to take care of X, Y, and Z. And when you are doing that, you don't have a lot of space to figure out ground zero. So I completely understand that. I have been there. Like I said, I built a whole life of stability with no ounce of me being present besides the one who's earning. Okay? So I know exactly what that feel like. And this may, if you work in a corporate space, okay, let's touch and agree. Those corporate spaces, for a lot of diverse people, can be toxic environments. And that can be another way that you lose your sense of self, because they really chop down your ability to show up as your authentic self by calling it unprofessional. They criticize your facial expressions, the tone of your voice, those things to kind of keep you from showing up as your authentic self. I know we kind of covering a lot of things, but these are the things that are coming through, and I know that they're connecting. So I'm not even going to question it. But the focal point of this conversation today, and we will have more, I promise you, I'm going to start making this more of a routine for me, because I know that it's needed. I know that sometimes I want to be at my job and listening to things that speak to where I am in my life and give me the space to feel seen and to also start to question and create more opportunities for myself to live in an authentic space. And that is my wish for you, to honor that feeling that this is no longer working. I don't have to feel bad that this is no longer working. What will work for me at this time? Given everything that I've been through and everything that I've learned, what will work for me at this time? That's what I want you to start to question of yourself. So ending this video, I just want to give you guys a little bit of homework. Let's call it soul work. I want you to look at where you have been and identify 3 things that have brought you joy within the last, let's say it's the beginning of the year. Let's say 3 things that have brought you joy within the last 3 months. Okay? Because you'll use those things to identify information about yourself. The path to self-discovery is created and whispered through our joy. The sad reality is we learn not to prioritize our joy, and we learn to question things that feel good because it is not our norm. Does that make sense? When things feel good, it's almost like, when is the other shoe going to drop? I know this isn't going to last. And then when it comes to prioritizing our joy, it's just like, I got to make sure that I do X, Y, and Z. I don't have time to do something for myself. So by identifying those 3 things that come natural to you, that make you experience joy and to be in a space where you are relaxed, I need you to focus on those things, because that's the way in which your spirit can speak to you. It's just like this. If I have a hand like this, and somebody brought me some money, they couldn't even put it in my hand. They put it on here and it will fall off. But if my hand is like this, I can receive. So when you are in a space of joy, you are in a space to receive. That is why your joy has to be a priority. In order for you to live a life that you enjoy, you have to get into the habit of experiencing joy. And if you don't know what joy is, ask yourself the question. What does joy look like for me? Fill in the blank. What does joy look like for me? Fill in the blank. All right, guys, I hope this has been helpful for you. Get in the comments and let me know where you are in life right now. Are you in the season of transition? Are you okay with a new definition about purpose? Understanding that it is living a life that you enjoy, not just one singular thing, that may involve different chapters, stages, phases, characters, environments. It's like an orchestra. It will involve lots of different things at different times. And you have to be okay with that and kind of just go with the flow of it. I'm eager to hear any of your comments in the comment section. You can follow me on all platforms. I am at Divinely Ty, and I will see you again when our hearts have to talk.